So you're telling me white people went around the globe colonizing every continent, taking spices from every culture, just to only use salt and pepper today? That doesn't make sense.
Chickens are killing Africans. Not this chicken here, because it's organic and healthy. But the broilers, the chemically boosted chicken that take less than 8 weeks to grow.
Today, these foods are sitting in healthy stores or health stores across Europe and America with shiny labels that read superfood. Can you imagine the irony of finding something like teff here from Ethiopia? This thing was just a humble grain used for injera in Ethiopia. But now it's been sold in London for £10 a kilo as a gluten-free miracle.
Cassava, yam, taro. Unhealthy, they said. They told you palm oil is the devil. Gari, koki, plantain. They call all of them unbalanced. They say meat will certainly kill you. And you believe them?
Guys, do you know before modern medicine, before supermarkets, before fast food, Africa was a continent of strength. Our grandparents and great-grandparents lived lives that today might seem impossible. They worked long hours under the sun, raised families without supplements, and walked miles without fatigue. Yet, they were healthier than most people are today. And you wonder, what was their secret? Their diet. Across the continent, traditional African meals were built from the earth. Grains like millet and sorghum, roots like yam and cassava, fruits straight from the wild, and fats from natural oils and animal sources. These foods didn't just fill their stomach, they nourished their body. But when industrialization arrived, our relationship with food began to crumble. Refined sugar, white flour, and seed oils quietly replaced what had once sustained generations. And with every spoonful of modern food, Africa began losing a part of its natural power.
You threw away your grandmother's red palm oil. And then you started bowing down to imported seeds and oils. Margarine, nitrate-packed sausages, and French fries. The ones that inflame your gut, clog your arteries, and poison your hormones. This is not nutrition, no. This is not even confusion. It's colonization through your stomach. First, they took over our bodies to work in their fields. Then, they took our minds through their systems. Now, they have captured our bellies with sweets and savory tricks. They've colonized your taste buds. And you call that nutrition? They made you hate your healing foods and love their poison. Let me tell you the truth, because no one else will. Your roots were never the problem. Your replacement was. Your oil was never the issue. The ultra processing is. Your sugarcane was never an issue. Their sugar-filled drinks are. Your active lifestyle wasn't the problem. Scrolling all day is. Your enemy is not palm oil. Your enemy is the marketing machine. Your enemy is not goat meat. It's not eggs, not soya. It's their burgers, their fries, and their fried chicken. Your enemy is not gari or cocoa. It's that depleted piece of nothing they call white bread. They took your herbs, rebranded them, and sold them back as pills. They brainwashed you to think sugar cereals are breakfast and white bread is modern. Now your body is crying out for real African nourishment. The food that your ancestors ate, the herbs your grandmothers brewed. See, shine your eyes, oh, lock up those thieves, because the cure, it's still in your kitchen, not in their bottles or their pills. Yes, drugs can fix symptoms for a while, and that we already know. But foods, herbs, and lifestyle, they heal the root cause. Listen, that which I'm about to share with you is not a diet. It's redemption, remembrance, reconnection. It's rebellion against the system that made us sick. Now it's time to reclaim your plate and your roots. Reconnect with your heritage. And remember, your heritage is your medicine. Your soil still holds the cure. Your roots are your remedy. Because your heritage is your health, and your health is your power. So chop better, make body the answer.
I mean, guys, look at this table. Look at it in a deep way. Majority of what you see here was once mocked, dismissed, and laughed at. These foods that you are seeing here were called poor man's food. I mean, here in Kenya, Swahili would say chakula ya wamaskini. Our ancestors were shamed for eating them. Colonial officers ridiculed them as dirty, backward, and very, very disgusting. I'm imagining they would maybe take a look at something like moringa. This is moringa powder. And they would smell it and be like, oh my God, that's very disgusting. What is that? Disgusting, you know? Yet today, these foods are sitting in healthy stores or health stores across Europe and America with shiny labels that read superfood. Can you imagine the irony of finding something like teff here from Ethiopia? This thing was just a humble grain used for injera in Ethiopia. But now it's been sold in London for £10 a kilo as a gluten-free miracle. What happened to their gluten wheat? Now they are selling these things very expensive in Europe. You know, £10. Do you know how much that is for a kilo? Our baobab, I could not even find baobab, guys. This was just an amazing fruit that children chewed in the village. Now, it is powdered and bottled in Europe as a premium antioxidant drink. Fonio, guys, you'll just have to see that one on your screen. Once dismissed as the hungry season food in West Africa, is now paraded in Paris restaurants as a gourmet delicacy. And Hoodia, one that I could not even find, a cactus the sun used for centuries to suppress hunger, was patented in South Africa and even licensed to Pfizer in the US, pitched as the next $1 billion appetite suppressant drug. Guy, do you see the irony? The same crops that once fed us in silence, foods that we were told to abandon, are now celebrated globally. Not because the world suddenly respects Africa or African food, but because someone figured out how to patent, rebrand, and profit from them. And
Chickens are killing Africans. Not this chicken here, because it's organic and healthy. But the broilers, the chemically boosted chicken that take less than 8 weeks to grow and 30 minutes to cook. Such chicken are increasingly popular across the continent, yet their health risks abound. Here are 4 reasons why you should keep broilers away from your plate and from your body. Number 1, they pump chemicals into your body and leave harmful chemical residue in your body. The chemicals used to fatten broilers leave residues in the chicken's tissues, and when you eat it, those residues enter your body. According to a 2022 report by the World Health Organization, excessive consumption of meat treated with antibiotics can lead to antibiotics resistance in humans. This means that when you fall sick, regular medication may not work as effectively. Essentially, the fast-growing chicken on your plate is contributing to the global health crisis of antibiotic resistance. Number 2, increase in the risk of obesity. Broilers will increase your weight and decrease your health. Look at America, the most obese country in the world. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention reports that over 40% of Americans are obese, largely because of poor dietary choices involving chemically treated food. One key factor in America's obesity crisis is a widespread consumption of non-organic processed food, including fast-grown broiler chicken. Studies show that this type of chicken has higher fat content and fewer nutrients than its organic counterpart. Africa, too, is beginning to experience similar health issues as more and more of our diets shift towards non-organic food. The fast food culture is sadly creeping in, bringing with it rising rates of obesity, diabetes, and heart diseases. Broilers are at the heart of this crisis. Number 3, hormonal imbalances. The growth hormones used to speed up broiler chicken growth can interfere with your body's own hormone regulation. Studies published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry have linked these hormones to issues like early puberty in children and an increased risk of certain cancers in adults. Imagine your body constantly battling chemical intrusions because of the food you consume, because of that broiler that you keep devouring. Number 4, weakened immune system. Non-organic chickens pumped with chemicals are less likely to contain the beneficial nutrients that your body needs to fight disease. The organic chicken, raised without these chemicals, contains higher levels of essential nutrients such as omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammation and boost the immune system. In contrast, the non-organic chicken can lead to inflammation in the body, making you more vulnerable to illness. Let us go back to our organic roots.
Let's paint a picture of the past. From the deserts of the north to the grasslands of the south, Africa's traditional diet was never one thing, but it had one principle: balance with nature. In West Africa, yam, palm oil, and beans formed the foundation of energy and endurance. In East Africa, milk, meat, and fermented grains built muscle and immunity. And in the West, maize and wild greens sustained communities through harsh seasons. In the north, olives, herbs, and lentils brought longevity and strength. Each region had mastered the art of living of the land, eating food that healed, strengthened, and protected. But when imported products flooded the markets, sugar, white bread, margarine, a slow decline began. Bodies that once glowed with vitality became fragile. Diseases like diabetes, hypertension, and heart problems crept in. The shift wasn't just physical, it was cultural. We forgot who we are and what our food meant. Our ancestors didn't count calories, they didn't chase superfoods or follow diet trends. They simply trusted the wisdom of the land. When a child was born, the mother knew which herbs to use for strength. When men went to war or hunt, they knew which foods gave endurance. When illness appeared, the cure often grew right behind the hut, in a tree, a leaf, or a root. Food was never just food, it was identity, medicine, and connection. Across Africa, this relationship with food shaped entire civilizations. In the Sahel, millet sustained farmers through drought. In the Great Lakes region, milk and meat kept pastoralists strong. In the coastal zones, seafood provided rich protein and omega oils. Every bite was powerful, adapted to the environment. Proof that traditional knowledge wasn't primitive, it was genius. Then came the promises of modernity: refined sugar, sweet but deadly; white flour, soft but empty; seed oils, cheap but toxic. These industrial foods didn't come to feed Africa, they came to sell convenience. And so the rhythm of life changed. The grinding stones went silent. Traditional porridge was replaced with bread. Palm oil and animal fat gave way to cheap vegetable oils. In cities, street food became fast food. In villages, packaged snacks replaced natural harvests. The result? A healthier crisis disguised as progress. Suddenly, diseases that were once rare became common. Tooth decay, diabetes, and heart diseases spread faster than ever before. Children once strong and lean began to suffer from obesity and malnutrition at the same time. We lost not only physical strength, but also cultural pride, the pride of knowing that our food made us powerful. Yet, here is the irony. The very foods Africa abandoned are now being sold back to the world as superfoods. Teff, once seen as poor man's grain in Ethiopia, is now celebrated in the West as a gluten-free miracle. Moringa, long part of Kenyan and Nigerian households, is sold overseas as a luxury health powder. Fonio from West Africa, once humble village food, now sits on shelves of organic stores in New York and Paris. The world has rediscovered what we forgot, that African food is not only delicious, but deeply medicinal. So the real question is, why did we stop trusting our own wisdom? The answer lies in perception. For too long, Africans were made to believe that traditional meant backward, that our food, our languages, our ways of life were inferior. Industrial food became a symbol of progress, but progress at the cost of health isn't progress. It is dependency. To heal, we must return to our roots, not by rejecting the modern world, but by blending it with ancestral knowledge. We can eat smart, live modern, but stay African. That means bringing back millet and sorghum to our tables. It means replacing refined oils with real fats like coconut, palm, or animal-based oils. It means reintroducing traditional fermentation, because our grandmothers knew that gut health starts with natural bacteria. And it means teaching the next generation that fast food isn't freedom, it's a slow form of loss. Africa's future doesn't depend on imported food. It depends on remembering that the strongest people to ever walk this land, the warriors, farmers, healers, and builders, all ate what the soil gave freely. Maybe the path forward is not about new discovery, but about rediscovering what we already had. Balance, simplicity, and respect for nature. Because when Africa ate real food, Africa was unstoppable. Guys, I need to know, do you agree or disagree with whatever that I've just said? Drop a comment below, let me know what your thoughts are. Also, remember to subscribe, like, and share as well. And until next time, bye-bye.